Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 19 of our Local to Global here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, of course, the last episode was a pretty good one. There was an interesting final show there, which I'll show you here. As you can see, our main event wasn't very good, but we were missing Americana and also Goldstein, so yeah, it was a bad main event to I would say, a relatively good show all round. But the big thing of the episode was the fact that we finally got onto WrestleWorld. And as you can see, things actually went pretty good because we made just over $16,000 for the month of May, as well as increasing starting to increase. We did increase. We got the level increase, but we've also started to level up towards level 3 of our merchandise, which is going to bring in more money over the long run. Probably should have done that a little bit earlier on in the series, I would say. Anyway, so for today's episode, we're going to continue. Actually, one thing, let's look at the finances here for a second. So I would say that most of our money is obviously now coming from broadcast revenue as well as ticket sales. So part of me thinks that maybe we should have a 4th monthly event. I wonder if that would be a good idea. See, the thing is, we could go to weekly, but weekly shows, or a TV show, for example, is going to have a lot lower attendance as opposed to actual events themselves. So as you can see, we have the monthly events here: Coalition Wrestling, True Test, and then of course we have a big pay-per-view. But if we were to go to a weekly event, I think the attendance figure would be like cut in half almost. So that would obviously be it would be pretty crippling financially. So I'm not sure if we want to do that. I think it's probably more beneficial to just add another monthly event as opposed to doing a weekly TV show yet. I don't think we're sort of ready to even try a weekly TV show. Anyway, the size is looking pretty good. We've got 39 popularity in Ontario, 17 in Quebec and Manitoba, which are the other 2 neighboring regions that we need to get to 35 for us to actually get up to medium size, which is, I would say medium size is the next goal, but it's actually going to be quite a decent amount of time away. So I would say our short-term goal is to get onto a small Canadian commercial broadcaster, which there is one. I think it's an internet commercial broadcaster, which I'm not, 100% a fan of, if we're being honest. I would much prefer an actual commercial television network. But it's pretty much all we've got in Canada, apart from a pay-per-view deal. But I think the popularity required for that one is a lot higher. So we can take a look at that once we get into this first event here. But yeah, we're making decent money, and that's kind of the most important thing. The wrestling industry is still falling. However, the economy has risen a little bit. I think we're into the sort of late 30s now for the economy as well, like 36 or something. So that's starting to go back up, which is obviously really beneficial for the sponsorship money that we get per month as well. So that's obviously a big help. But I think attendance is primarily garnered through the wrestling industry. So the lower the wrestling industry goes, the less possible fans we will get at shows. However, because we are growing as a company, the attendance does actually go up. So every time we go up one popularity, you pretty much saw it in the last episode. I think we started at about 880 or 890. We then went up to like 940, and then we edged up towards just over 1,000. We actually sold out the 1,000-seater arena, which is pretty cool. The first time we've done that. So, I mean, the pay-per-view itself was pretty dreadful. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I think we got a 56 for that pay-per-view, even though the main event was only a 49. Because, interestingly enough, the Davis-Wayne-Newton match with Charlie Corner managed to get a 65, which is... It almost seems ridiculous, but I think we're going to have to do something in this episode. We're either going to have to hire some more good talent that's going to be able to primarily work just for us, or we're going to have to possibly take the title off of James Diaz. Now, I wouldn't be against taking it off him, purely for the fact that he already has 4 title defenses. So it's not like he's had a short reign. I think he's been champion for about 100 days. Yeah, so 95 days. So that's a decent little reign. It's nearly a third of a year. We might give him one more title defense. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's get into our show. I'll show you the broadcaster in Canada afterwards. Let's chuck it onto WrestleWorld there. There we go. Malik Chamberlain going to be missing today, but that's good that we've got Americana and Goldstein. And as you can see, we're expecting 1,082 fans. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go a generic venue. I don't really want to miss actually having an extra 82 fans, possibly, for our attendance. So instead of just going for the 1,000-seater, just go generic. You get a little bit extra money. Obviously, you got to pay a little bit extra to actually get those fans in, but it's more beneficial to get the fans in than it is not to. Anyway, for our main event here, what are we going to do? I kind of want to go with not a team, and I want them to possibly take on Goldstein, and maybe he could team up with somebody else that's relatively good. Because I kind of want to give Goldstein another loss, if I'm being honest. But the real question is, who do I actually put him in a team with? Maybe a Sono? Let's go with Sono. Let's try out a Sono in the main event again. He wasn't too bad the last time we put him in there. I think we have to give Diaz the victory. And we'll make a Sono the loser as well. It does need to be scripted because of Jack Pride, but there we go. That's not a bad tag team main event, I think. Singles match, let's go for... who do we want to go for? Maybe Gary Walker, but we could probably put him in a tag team match. Actually, let's go Gary Walker, and he can take on Leo Caddy LeBlanc. We might be able to do a cheeky promo for both of these guys, see how good it actually will be if they're both rated on entertainment. Could be relatively interesting. They could actually be like an impromptu sort of stable. Just because they're both really good at entertainment skills and microphone stuff, so it would work out pretty well. So our next match, I think we're going to do a tag team title match here. So let's go Los Hermanos 3, our current champions. And do we want to do a rematch? Let's do a rematch. They can take on Young and Wasted for the tag titles, but I think once again we will keep the belts exactly where they are because they need to have a decent run, Los Hermanos. And it does give our boy Marco something to do, which I think is kind of what he needs at the moment. Then I guess our final match, let's go with Pepper Pelton, and he can take on Art Reed. We didn't really use Pepper last episode, so we'll get him in there. Going to be losing, but that's perfectly fine. Going to be losing to the more experienced veteran worker. Alright, so let's go. I think we're going to go with Diaz and with Primetime Jack Pride for our main event angle here. Robinson to be the road agent. So there we go. Like I said, we're going to do Gary Walker and Leo Caddy LeBlanc. Both on entertainment. And I want to see Like, in theory, it should be relatively good. In theory. But, you know, we're not going to actually know. Anyway, we'll make that the work the crowd match. We'll make the tag team title match the storytelling. Actually, what I think I want to do is have an interference by Gabriella. So she's actually going to interfere during the match, which is one way or another essentially going to cost Young and Wasted the titles. So let's have Gabriella, let's have Marco, and let's have Ray Cavallero. We'll give them all success as well, because I think they are actually in a stable storyline, yeah. Robinson to Road Agent, there we go. Alright. That looks like a relatively good show. I think the main event will be decent, because obviously Goldstein's in there. Alright, let's run it. Alright, so we start off with a 34 rated match, where we have Art Reed defeating Pepper Pelton in 12-17 by submission with a dreadlock. Unfortunately, we did only get 1,000 people, so I'm thinking over 1,000 people, it might automatically go down to the nearest 100, if that's the way that generic venues work. I think that might be how they worked on 2016. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. Big win there for Art Reed. Going to try and get himself back into contention. We then go to a 48 rated angle, where Gabriela Ortega puts over Brothers for Life, of course, Los Hermanos. Number 3, the current tag team champions. And she did superb without a script. So hopefully that's going to really help those guys out. The tag team title match does really well. We get a 50 rated match here, where we have Los Hermanos 3 defeating Young and Wasted in 12:05 when Marco Gonzalez submitted Brett Kyle with a Latino crab. During the match, we also had Gabriela Ortega run in and attack Kyle. And we have Los Hermanos making defense number 1 of the CWC Coalition Tag Team titles. Unfortunately, Ray was off his game, but we still got a 50, which I think is a very decent angle, very decent match rating there. Alright, we then go... Alright, that was a lot less than what I kind of expected. I thought it might be in the 60s, but we get a 42 rating for our, I would say, our 2 best entertainment workers, being Gary Walker and Leo Caddy LeBlanc. But as you can see, Gary Walker was very poor when struggling. He struggled going off script. Unfortunate, still pretty high. Might help LeBlanc get a little bit more popularity, but that's actually not too bad either. We get a 41 rated match out of the 2, where we have Gary Walker defeating Leo Caddy LeBlanc in 12-13 by pinfall with a pants pull sunset flip. We also had LeBlanc off his game, so really not too bad there. That's actually half decent. Alright, we then go to a 56 rated angle here for Not a Team, consisting of Diaz and Jack Pride. Diaz didn't do well without a script, however, Jack Pride did improvise well throughout the segment. And yeah, Diaz benefiting from having a hot catchphrase. And the main event getting us a 60 rated match here, where we have Not a Team defeating Ozzy Goldstein and Yuta Osono in just under 20 minutes, when James Diaz pinned Yuta Osono with an Asian thumb spike. There we go, it's a solid main event. Pretty solid. As you can see, 65 in-ring for Goldstein. We got a 60 there for Diaz. And both tag team partners doing relatively well. Getting high 30s. Overall show rating getting us a 55 there, so it's not too bad. It's about the same as the last one. Obviously, a lot of the angles were a bit worse. And obviously, there was no 65 rated match on the card either. Who do I want to praise? I think Osono has issues. I think Pepper has issues. And I'm not too sure who else has issues, actually. I think Leo Caddy LeBlanc had issues as well. We'll just go with him anyway, even if he doesn't. Doesn't really matter too much. I mean, maybe another thing I should be doing soon is looking through for more workers. Because I feel like we have too many workers already. But then I also think maybe we should try and get some more. Anyway, we got just over 51,000 viewers for Coalition Wrestling, so that's really good. Kind of unexpected almost. I mean, Frantic Ali would be a really good worker to bring in as well. Was he has he been with anybody big? No, he hasn't. Just sticked with IPW, now L Ring and GSW. That's pretty interesting. Anyway, Championship Wrestling for CWA, they got a 93 for their usual tag team match they do in the main event. 86 overall show rating there. But what about us? Did we get any increase? We did get a popularity increase. We are up to 40 popularity already in Ontario. That is massive. Really good stuff there. Alright. I want to kind of have a look through here. So Osono actually had morale issues. LeBlanc did. So I guess that's good in a way. But we're making some decent money, man. We're getting about 14,000 every time we sell out the arena. Every time we get 1,000 fans, we get $14,000 in ticket sales, which seems like quite a lot, really. Obviously, we could increase ticket prices. What if we did premium? So, where's normal? What are we? 40 popularity. So we're about $16 for an event ticket. Okay, and premium would be 19. So it's actually not that much more. Okay. Had to sneeze there. Almost didn't get to mute the microphone, but I just got it in time. Alright, so let's get into this next event as well. I just kind of want to progress as fast as possible. I really want to get to medium because, you know, now that we're actually on WrestleWorld, we've got the additional problems of workers are going to gain popularity across all the regions. So not only are they going to be poached more often, our own workers, but they're going to ask for more pay rises, which is ultimately inevitable the more we push them. And then, yeah, the longer that we are not medium, or I guess the longer that we are not making as much money as possible, I guess the worst sort of position we'll actually be in when it comes to actually going up to medium size. And we're going to need a lot of money because we want to do some exclusive written contracts. I think we'll probably aim for about maybe 4 or 5 people on written contracts. Obviously, I can't really say who that's going to be right now because it's very subject to change. Obviously, if there are some younger guys that we want to keep, such as Jack Pride, Yuta Osono, Diaz as well, but Diaz will probably be expensive. But some of the guys that have lower popularity, that are younger and very good, they will also be cheaper to sign up to those longer, exclusive written contracts. So that's also something to think about as well. But ultimately, as far as the sort of top guys go, we're only going to go with the real standouts. And that would, number 1 would be Americana Jr., 100%. Number 2 would be Davis Wayne Newton. Goldstein's a weird one. I would say that we would want to do Goldstein as well. But he's also very old. So it would be an interesting one. It would be an interesting one. I don't think we would actually, now that I think about it in a bit more detail. I did say I was going to show you the broadcasters, but I forgot to do that. Anyway, I'll try and remember to do it after this one. We do have some more meddling to do. And this one here is an almost botched move, which is the reason why LeBlanc has issues. Seems to be Taylor Norton every time. Seems to be Taylor getting in trouble, so I really like those boys, I really do. Anyway, we're expecting 1,177 fans. We'll try the generic venue again. Hopefully it works. I really do hope it works. But for this show, we are going to go with... What are we going to go with? That's actually an interesting question. I kind of think we want a #1 contenders match, but... Yeah, let's go #1 contenders match. Malik Chamberlain taking on Aussie Goldstein. Winner getting a pay-per-view title shot at the CWC World title. So it'll be interesting to see how the match itself actually does at the pay-per-view. There we go. It's one match down. Let's go for a Doomsday Generation Rock City Stars match. I mean, this is a match we've done many times. Oh, we haven't actually done it that many times. That's pretty interesting. We've only done it like 2 times. Very strange stuff there. Okay. Let's make that storytelling as well. I want to check who has morale issues. It is... Oh, both of them actually have morale issues. Manor and Ryan Turner. And Wicked Lester. Okay. I guess what I'll do also is we're going to have Americana take on someone. Preferably someone that is going to benefit from taking him on. I'm kind of thinking a Sono. Just to get a bit more, hopefully, psychology. Or at least some more basics. Just wondering, is there actually anyone else that is going to benefit more? Maybe Walker? I mean, Walker's basics is already really high. Let's go with the Sono. I mean, I'm expecting this match to be really good as well. Might actually beat the main event. Probably not, but it'll be close. It'll be very close. Anyway, there's Americana. We're going to praise him as well. Want to keep him happy. He does have pretty bad morale issues at the moment, or he at least has like a medium level of morale problem. Then finally, what are we going to do? Let's go with Bowden Snoop and Robin Newman. And they can take on... let's go, yeah, Los Hermanos too. Why not? And we'll give the victory... Let's give it to Luis Frost, actually. I'm not sure the guy's actually ever gotten a pinfall victory yet. But there we go. He's also kind of the odd man out as well. Okay. So let's go for Deanna Desire and Malik Chamberlain. Actually, I don't think we needed to script her, did we? So there we go. That's her angle, or Malik's angle, I guess, together. Let's go for Ryan Turner and Stan Manor. Give them some more success. Which is good. And then I think finally we'll just go with an Americana Jr. angle by himself. That should get at least, hopefully a 70. That'd be nice. That can go there. We'll make this opening match a work the crowd. Hopefully that should be pretty beneficial. But yeah, there we go. That's our second show of the episode. Looks pretty good. Spending a little bit more money though, which is not great. We get a 31 rated match for our opening contest where we have Los Hermanos 2 defeating Bowden Snoop and Robin Newman in 11:32 when Louise Frost submitted Bowden Snoop with a magic crab. These guys all have the same finishes. I think Gonzalez has a Latino crab. Louise Frost has a magic crab. I'm not sure about Caballero, but I'm not sure. He might actually have a crab. I don't know. Anyway, we've got Bowden Snoop there sustaining a blown eardrum, which I'm kind of hoping is not a botch from either of these two. Because I really just don't want to have to meddle with any more negative relationships. Again, like I said, it does get rounded down because we were expected to get 1,180. And as you can see, it's gone down to 1,100. So maybe I've got to think about that a little bit more. All right, anyway, moving on. We get a 66 rated angle here for Americana Junior's angle. Clearly enjoying the freedom to go off script. And let's just say that he's pretty pissed off and he wants to take things out on the rest of the CWC roster, starting tonight with one of the biggest up-and-coming stars. That match gets a 49 rating, where we have Americana Junior defeating Yuta Osono in 12:20 by pinfall with an American crush. And we've got Americana Junior and Yuta Osono. They don't seem to click, so it made for an awkward bout. We then move into a 58 rated angle where we have the Rock City Stars cutting another sort of tag team title or coalition title promo where they say that they want to get an opportunity and they're going to prove exactly why they deserve to be the #1 contenders in this next match. 58's pretty good. Stan Manor improvising well. Their match does pretty well considering their opponents. We get a 47 rating for this tag team match, where we have the Rock City Stars defeating Doomsday Generation in 12:15 when Stan Manor pinned Wicked Lester with a rock and roller. And then once again, Original Sinner still getting some really dreadful in-ring performances. Is still on a 22, which seems pretty crazy because he's been here for over a year and a half now. So yeah, interesting. Lester's obviously improved quite a little bit, but not Sinner for some reason. Anyway, that's really bad. We get a 37 rated angle. Definitely should have gone with Goldstein instead of these two. But yeah, Deanna Desire putting over her client, Malik Chamberlain. But as you can see, she did struggle when going off script. So I'm not sure if they're ready for the sort of pre-main event angles. But it's an interesting test anyway. The main event, it does relatively well. We get a 59 for our main event, where we have Malik Chamberlain defeating Ozzy Goldstein in 2023 by pinfall with a gourd buster. And yeah, once again, we've got the great chemistry between the manager and client. We got a 55 in-ring from Chamberlain and a nice little 68 there from Goldstein. All right, so we finished the show. We get a 57, so I think that's, 2 points above the last show, which is, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Increasing our popularity in 18 regions. But let's praise Americana. Let's praise Rock and Ryan Turner and Stan Manor as well. I think they're kind of the most important people on our roster at the moment, so we want to try and contain their morale issues and just make sure they're gonna be okay. And of course, if Americana has no morale issues, his matches are just going to be that little bit better. So also going to be pretty beneficial there. Anyway, our viewer figures keep going up. We're up to 53,609 viewers, which is very decent. So there we go. I think that's definitely up, right? What was the last one? Yeah, 51,000 up to 53. And the one before Coalition was just under 46, nearly 46,000. So we're growing by about 2,000 for every show at the moment, which seems really good. It really does. Anyway, let me take a look at the broadcasters here. Now, the one I was talking about is Canadian CIB, which, as you can see, is a commercial internet site. Highly pro wrestling, high risk. But as you can see, they're small, which is obviously better than the very small that we're currently getting on WrestleWorld. But as you can see, we also need to get 28 popularity in 7 regions in Canada. As you can see, there is only 7 regions in Canada, so we need to get 28 across all the regions, which is kind of our, like I said, our short-term goal, and that's what I want for our next sort of step to be in regards to broadcasting. Once that happens, there are a few other options once we get to medium, but the only other one we can actually get on would be this one here, UDemand Canada, which is a small pay-per-view provider. As you can see, they're also small coverage, but they only require 35 popularity in 5 regions. Now that's really, really good, because we could get a pay-per-view provider, and pay-per-view revenue is massive, absolutely massive, and it's small in Canada as well, and we can actually stay as a small company and get that deal. But I'm assuming probably by the time we're able to actually get onto that network or to that pay-per-view provider, we will probably be medium size. We might not be, because we might struggle for a little bit of additional popularity coming from Ontario. But maybe not. I'm assuming by the time we're almost pushing up towards medium, we should, in theory, have enough money and enough, decent workers to be able to push ourselves up and get the required 59 popularity in Ontario. Anyway, some of these morale issues are starting to go away, which is, it's nice. It's nice. Let's have a little look at the tag teams here. So we've got 7 experience there for Collateral Damage. We've got 22 for Doomsday Generation, 21 for Feel Good Inc. We've got 3 for Los Hermanos 1, 7 for Los Hermanos 2, and 7 for Los Hermanos 3. Not a Team has 3 experience there, but we did use them quite a bit without actually making them a team. Rock City Stars getting pretty close to 100 experience. They got 93 experience there. And we've got a nice 69 there for Young and Wasted. So everything's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Anyway, let's advance forward here and let's get into Urban Wasteland 3. So yeah, I think everything's coming pretty good at the moment. I think we're probably gaining a point of popularity every 2 shows, I think. It seems like every show, but I don't think it's that good at the moment. Which is fine. I'm perfectly fine getting 1 popularity every 2 shows. It's going to mean, we've got a lot of shows still to go before we get to medium. So it's going to be quite a journey. But at the moment, I would say that when we get to small size, I feel like there's an early small and then a late small, and they're the same size, but they're almost like 2 different sizes, if that makes sense. There's like early small, you're saving up the money. You really want to try and almost penny pinch a little bit and get a decent amount of savings for your company. And then you go to the late small stage when you're about maybe 10 to 15 points of popularity away from medium. That's when you start to get some of the better workers in. You start to increase your production values a little bit more. You in our case, probably get a color commentator in. All these different things that you would otherwise probably not do. We might even go for a better road agent once we find ourselves in a better financial situation as well. I mean, we could just go for the best and just try and get Sam Keith in, who is, at the moment, still not on any sort of exclusive contract. He is the owner of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, obviously, but I think Mid-Atlantic Wrestling are about to go up to medium. If they might already be there, actually. I'm not 100% sure. But he is the best road agent that I think is available at the moment for small companies that is not actually on a written, proper written contract. And he's got 100 psychology, 100 basics, 100 experience, respect, pretty much everything you want from a proper road agent. So I would think about getting him. We could obviously go for someone else. It's not really necessary. Maybe we do go for someone else because I think Keith works for, obviously, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, but I think he also works for GSW as well. Interesting. Sean Quartermain stepping down as the head booker of APW. And we've now got Bowden Snoot back from his blown eardrum, so that's good. Even though we're probably not going to use him, but that's fine. I feel like we just got a couple more morale issues there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think we did. So yeah, let's just let me have a look at the size actually. Actually, we did gain another point of popularity from just that one show, because we were 39 at the start of the episode, weren't we? We went up to 40, 41. We've only done 2 shows. Yeah, it seems like we're getting a point of popularity every show in Ontario. Everywhere else seems to be just that little bit slower. But that's fine. That's fine. I mean, we're up to 7. We're up to 18 in the other regions. I mean, Alberta struggling behind with 3, and British Columbia literally at 1, which is not great. But obviously, the more shows that we run, the better. So maybe I'll have to think about actually running a TV show in the near future, and we just run one pay-per-view. It'll be interesting. Anyway, we've got Aussie Goldstein taking Robin Newman under his wing as a protege. That's actually massive. That's really cool. I'm very happy about that. We kind of need all of those type of worker, mentor, protege, things that we can get at the moment. Now, this is an interesting thing. So, what we can do is we can just go with one of these locations. This is what I want to try. I want to try one of these locations, right? Because some of them do have importance. As you can see, this one here, Mississauga or Ottawa, for example. The estimated cost is 1,000, which I believe is the same as the 1,000-seater. That's 1,000 flat. But that says estimated, so I'm not sure if it's more or less. It could be less, but let's go with Mississauga and see what happens. I want to do a test. See if we can actually get 1,274 people, because obviously it's got a 30,000 capacity. So I just want to see what happens. It might be a massive risk. I have absolutely no idea what the actual cost is going to be. But I just want to see. I want to see. Anyway, our world title match is going to be Chamberlain taking on James Diaz in the main event. So again, this could be a bit of a risky main event. It might tank like the last one did. There's a very high possibility that could be happening. But you know what? We're going to do it anyway. We are going to do it anyway because, I don't know, I've got a extremely unhappy... What's his popularity? Only 47 in Ontario, and Diaz is 51, so... Am I really going to have to keep him strong for this match? That's so annoying. That is so annoying. He's still extremely unhappy? Oh man, this guy's... What's his personality? Needy. Okay. That's not a great personality, is it? Why can I not look at his personality? Annoying. I thought you could just click it and look at their personality. Maybe I have to go into the roster screen. We're going to leave that like that for a second. Let me have a look. Where is he? Chamberlain. He has a fragile ego. Got no natural impact on backstage. Yeah. He doesn't have a great personality, which is annoying. It's not a massive issue, but it's just... He's obviously not wanting to take a pinfall loss here. You know what? I'm going to scrap this match. I'm going to scrap it. And instead, we're going to do Davis Wayne Newton taking on Malik Chamberlain. Let me get rid of all this. Well, we don't need to get rid of all of it, but let's just make Davis Wayne Newton the victor. CWC cannot be on the line. There we go. And there we go. Okay. So I guess Davis is going to become our new #1 contender instead, which I kind of like, especially after that whole debacle. Anyway, up next, let's go for... I think I want to have Gonzalez take on maybe Goldstein. Yeah, what's Goldstein's psychology? 77. Hopefully that'll rub off a little bit. It's a big match, though, for Gonzalez. He's not going to be victorious, which is unfortunate for him a little bit, but it's going to be a good learning experience. He's still the tag team champions at the moment, or one half. But yeah, he just can't call a match yet, and we want to try and get that psychology up a little bit, so got to do what you got to do. Up next, we'll go a tag team match. Let's go with not a team, and they can take on Young and Wasted. And I think I actually want to give Young and Wasted a victory here. Let's give Brett Kyle the win. The loser can be Jack Pride. We might keep Diaz strong. Maybe I won't. Let's see what happens. I kind of just want to... Yeah, we'll let it play out. We'll let it play out. And then finally, we can go one more match. Let's go for Zelquin, and he can take on Charlie Corner. Yeah, why not? Charlie Corner it is. I mean, Charlie impressed in that match with Davis on the last episode, even though it was all Davis Wayne Newton, but still. I mean, Zelquin's extremely unhappy. It's because they have popularity over all these regions. Can we keep him strong? I mean, I really don't care about keeping him strong, because it's not gonna affect the match rating too much. Storytelling there. Then let's book our angles. So let's go for Davis, just by himself. That's not too bad. That'll be pre-main event. We'll go with... I think I actually want to go with Gabriella and Marco. Let's try and get Marco's entertainment stats up a little bit. I'm not sure if it still works like this, but I want to see if we can try and get that up just a little bit. You know, it would be decent. Up next, let's go with Charlie Corner as well, actually. And I think that'll do us. Actually, I mean, we can go one more. We may as well. Let's go for Diaz and Jack Pride. I think they're both in the title challenger storyline. I think they are. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll try and advance that one anyway. What's our problem? Road agency? Yes. I guess for this one, we'll go Reed. There we go. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Let's run this show as well. All right, so we started with I mean, it should have scripted in, but a 36 here for Charlie Corner's promo. And He just wants to be taken seriously. As you can see, we've got 1,290 people in Mississauga. So it's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. Anyway, yeah, he struggled going off script. So I think if we give him any more angles, he is actually a relatively good talker as well. So we just need to script him maybe. We'll give him a bit more of a test as well going forward. But yeah, 36 it's not too bad. Not too bad. His match gets a 38, where we have Charlie Corner defeating Zelquin in 11:32 by pinfall with a corner cutter. Not a bad match, actually. Zelquin did carry it a little bit with a 40 in-ring performance. We then go into a 56 rated angle for Not a Team. And interestingly enough, both these guys have struggled this time. I think Diaz struggled last time as well. But yeah, both struggling. Still gets a 56 though, so that's not too bad. We then go into a 57 rated tag team match where we have Young and Wasted defeating Not a Team in 11:43 when Brett Kyle pinned Primetime Jack Pride with a shooting star press. Really good match. Yeah, really good match. Very solid indeed. Okay, moving on to a 39. We should have scripted it because Gonzalez is not very good. Anyway, we get a 39 rated angle for Ortega and her client Gonzalez. And of course, Brothers for Life. And of course, he's going up into a pretty big match where we get a 50 rating. And we have Ozzy Goldstein defeating Marco Gonzalez in 12:22 by pinfall with a golden shower. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Goldstein and Gonzalez don't seem to click, so it's actually got a negative chemistry rating there. But still got a 50, which is pretty good. 41 in-ring performance from Gonzalez, so that's decent, brother. That's up there. That's definitely up there. We then move into a 74 rated angle. This is why Davis is the GOAT at the moment. So he gets a 74. Deserve better color commentary. Obviously, we don't have a color commentator. And the main event, it does okay. It gets us a 62 there, where we have Davis Wayne Newton defeating Malik Chamberlain in 29 seconds by pinfall with a fisherman's suplex. Chamberlain seemed off his game, which is kind of annoying. I'm kind of not liking him at the moment. I was pretty hyped up to actually sign him originally, but I don't know. He doesn't seem to be doing too well. Yeah, it's a weird one. Very weird. Anyway, still a good match. 76 in-ring there for Davis. And like I said, he is now the new #1 contender, as this was a #1 contenders match. Redux, I guess. Anyway, finish the show. We get a 61 rated show there. Really just pretty much Davis just carrying, getting a 74 angle and then a 62 rated main event. He's that good. Anyway, 61's very good. Very happy with that. Let's do some praising. So I know that... Actually, I don't know. Charlie Corner definitely has morale issues. I'm not too sure who else has them, to be honest. Maybe Norton, maybe Zelquin as well. Let's go for those guys. I'm just not sure who actually has them out of everybody that wrestled here on this pay-per-view. Anyway, there we go. That is the month of June. I think we'll do one more show for the episode. So we'll do the first Coalition Wrestling in July. I just want to take a look. 61,000 viewers. Oh my god. Is that up? That's up 10k viewers from the last show. Hold on. Let me go to events. No, we want history. Yeah, I mean it's nearly 10,000. It's 8,000 viewers more. Wow. Did we gain another point of popularity there? I think we did. We were 41, right? Yeah, we started off on 39. We literally gained 3 points of popularity for each show we did this month in Ontario. And we managed to get 2 points of popularity in Quebec and Manitoba. Very decent. We're also up to 15 popularity in the Great Lakes, 12 in the Midwest, 12 in the Tri-State as well. I mean, things are progressing very, very quickly with us being on WrestleWorld. I kind of knew that it was going to happen. But I kind of wasn't expecting to get a point of popularity per show at the moment. It's almost progressing too quickly. I know that's kind of being a little bit silly when I say that, because obviously we want to try and progress as fast as possible. I even said that earlier. But it's just kind of catching me a little bit off guard, I think. Just a little bit. Stan Manor. Why is his morale issues getting worse? Oh, I hate that. Morale issues in this game is probably one of my least favorite things. Part of me sometimes just wants to turn it off, because it just gets frustrating. It's kind of pointless. I know people would actually be upset if they were being left off shows, but I mean, they're not going to have morale issues. It's not going to affect their performance when I bring them in. Anyway, it's a little bit of a rant there. Let's advance one day. I want to see how much profit we made for the month of June. It's going to be decent. It's going to be very decent. Another thing to mention is the broadcast revenue must be a lot higher, because if you think about it, we went from like 46,000 viewers up to 61,000 in the space of 3 shows. It's got to be good. Anyway, wrestler of the year so far is Greg Gage. What about company of the year? Apparently it's SWF. Ooh, CWA have match of the year. Interesting. Young worker of the year going to Kamimura. Interesting. Got a 90 rated match. He's got some really good matches. Oh my god. 88 against Velocidad. 94 against Velocidad. 86 against Joshua Taylor. 81 against Taylor. I mean, Velocidad once again getting a 94. Aaron Andrews, 89 against him. And then Velocidad once again. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense as to why he is kind of doing so well. He does look pretty talented as well, this worker. Anyway, Veteran of the Year. I mean, everything's... There's nothing for us. Absolutely nothing for us. But yeah, we made $33,000. Wow. That's pretty crazy. And the merchandise has actually shot up a lot as well. We made $1,800 in merchandise. How is the merchandise doing, actually? Okay, we're up to 60% towards level 3. So what's that? Four more weeks? So we finished this next month and we'll actually be level 3 merchandise. Not too bad. Anyway, let's get into the next show. I mean, maybe I really have to think about, I don't know, either getting a TV show up and running now. Maybe let's do one, we might do 1 or 2 more months with the 3 monthly pay-per-views or events, if you will. Just to make sure that we got enough money, because like I said, once we go to TV, the weekly TV show attendance is a lot lower than the monthly event attendance. Gotta say, we're definitely doing pretty well at the moment. Things have turned around. I mean, if you go back to the first like 3 or 4 episodes of the series, I didn't really think we would be where we are right now. Let me just say that. Things were bad. Things were really bad. I did some things that were a bit silly that, looking back on it, we really shouldn't have done. So I shouldn't have, for one, worried too much about travel expenses, because obviously getting the workers that have good backstage personalities is massive, because that crippled us for quite a while. And then, of course, we should probably get War Peace. He's really good. Why haven't I gotten War Peace yet? That's an interesting question. I might grab War Peace as our next signing. We might do that next episode. He's really good. He's like super talented, in the ring. Really good primary skills. I feel like he could almost, teach a thing or two to most of our roster as well when it comes to primary skills. I mean, an interesting thing that I could do as well is we could run a couple of, well, maybe not a couple, but we could run some pre-show matches as well with the workers that we're already using. It's going to affect their conditioning, but it might be a good idea just to try and improve them a little bit faster by having them wrestle twice per show. We could do it. What we could do is just have... We could essentially look for tag team chemistry in the pre-show. And of course, get them into matches as well. We're already paying for... Actually, I don't know. Does one show count as one appearance? Or does one match count as one appearance? I would assume the show, if I'm not... Oh, we knew it was coming. I'm upset, but I knew it was coming. Oh, man. TCW coming in for Americana Jr. They're stealing another one of our stars away, man. Oh, Americana, I loved you. Oh, I'm really gonna miss him. He was one of the guys that we've pretty much had from the beginning of the series, so I'm happy to see him go to a good company in TCW. Obviously, I'm a big fan of TCW. But it kind of just sucks. It just sucks that he's going to be leaving us. How much are they offering him? Please be a decent amount. Yeah, I mean, 28,000, it's not too bad. 5-year contract, though. Ooh. That is, that's a long one. That is a long one indeed. Oh, goodbye, my lover. He's gone. Alright. Is he even going to be here for this next show? I think he might be. I think he might be here for this next show. So what I think I want to do is go for our best ever show rating. Anyway, we got Pepper Pelton lifting the people backstage, and Stan Manor, creating a video game tournament for everybody. And Americana is here, so that's perfect. Anyway, let's do some more meddling real quick for Taylor and Leo Caddy. No effect, unfortunately, but that's fine. We're gonna keep trying. We'll keep trying. So it's got us in Hamilton. Hamilton's fine. It's 25,000 seater with the expected cost. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for the main event. It's an interesting one, but it's gonna be James Diaz taking on the #1 contender Davis Wayne Newton, taking on Americana. Could be our best ever match rating. Hopefully it will be, but it's going to be pretty tough. And it's going to be an interesting match overall, I think. I think we can call as well, so there is potential for it to be our best ever. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, up next, let's go with a singles match. Let's have Bowden Snoop take on Gonzalez, maybe? Maybe not Gonzalez. Let's go for... Go for Jack Pride. Jack, I think, has had a couple of losses recently. Jackie boy. There we go. Nice little victory there for him against Bout and Snoop. We'll then go for a tag team title match as well. Seeing as it is Americana's last show. So let's have the Rock City Stars. They'll finally get their opportunity for some tag team gold. However, you know, they're not going to be successful, so sucks to be them, but that's just how it goes. Let's give Ray the victory in this one. Marco's been winning these actual title matches recently, so we'll give him a nice little victory there as well. Up next we'll go, I think we want to go, let's go another tag team match. I think a tag team match is going to be more beneficial here. So let's go Americana and Leo Caddy LeBlanc. Yeah, we'll go Leo Caddy. Let's go Jay Silver instead. Yeah, Jay Silver, and they can take on Feel Good Inc. because we haven't really used Zippy in the last 2 episodes, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I do kind of want to make Americana the loser there. So there we go. He's going to be really upset, but he's leaving already, so that's fine. He can be furious. We're going to use him in 2 matches as well, which I think is pretty cruel, but it's also his last ever show. So there we go. What we'll do, we'll give him an angle before the main event. Just kind of to say goodbye, really. So we'll chuck that there. Actually, maybe we'll put that after, because I kind of want to have Davis cut an angle before, if we're being honest. Because Davis he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I'm kind of thinking that he might be next to be leaving us, and that'll really make me sad. Because he's the guy that I really want to keep until we get to medium. So we can chuck him straight onto a exclusive written contract. Only because he's Canadian and he's really, really good. Like, really, really good. Does he work for anybody else? He works for L-Ring, so that's actually not too bad. But the fact that we're on WrestleWorld, that's kind of the big problem at the moment. Because he's gaining the popularity in those other regions. And I think we can probably expect a pay rise request pretty soon. He's on 470, but it's expected he'll ask for 800. Bit of a yikes, but anyway. Then let's go with Feel Good Inc. So Gary Walker and Zippy Deverell. Entertainment for both of these boys. Give them some success there as well. In the tag division. And then I think let's go with Gabriella again. Gabriella with Marco and Ray. Let's go Entertainment, and Menace for Ray. Just want to give this a try. I just want to see how it's going to go. That also needs to be Art Reed. Alright, there we go. Brothers for Life angle. Let me just double check. So Ray is Menace, correct? No. Oh, it's Luis. That must be Menace. Interesting. I wonder why that angle was doing so badly that time. I guess we can just put Luis into here as well. And we'll go Menace for Luis. There we go. I mean, I know he's not actually on the show, but he only costs $8. Oh, not $8. He only costs about $30 or $40 per appearance for Luis. Yeah, $20. There we go, per appearance. It is him with the Menace, correct? Yeah, 90 minutes. Man, I feel like an idiot for putting Ray as the Menace guy in the angles recently. But there we go. like I said, hopefully Gonzalez, we need to try and get his entertainment skills up a little bit. But that looks like a pretty good show. I'm very happy for this to be Americana's last ever show. Anyway, let's start it off. We start off strong, man. We get a 69 rated angle from Feel Good Inc. Very, very impressed with this. As you can see, both of them really doing quite well without their script. They are I would say, our premier entertainment guys, apart from maybe LeBlanc, but yeah, these two definitely favorites of mine. I think they're favorites of some of you guys in the comments as well. You're kind of a fan of Feel Good Inc. They will get their push sometime. Gary Walker will probably get a singles push as well. Of course, there's been a little bit of dissension in the tag team as well recently. But they go into a tag team match, getting a 56 rating, and we do have Feel Good Inc. defeating Americana Jr. and Jay Silver in 11:50 when Gary Walker pinned Americana Jr. with a lip service, which is, of course, their finisher there, named by one of you guys in the comments. Yeah, 56, really good. Gary Walker getting a 46 in-ring, so that's not too bad. And Americana coming out looking good. We then move into a 37 rated angle from Ortega, Gonzalez, Cavallero, and Frost. And of course, they are brothers for life with their beautiful mouthpiece in Gabriella. Their match gets a 51, the tag team title match, where we have Los Hermanos 3 defeating the Rock City Stars in 12:29 when Ray Cavallero pinned Rock and Ryan Turner with a belly-to-back suplex. Los Hermanos 3 making defense number 2 of the CWC Coalition Tag Team titles. Good stuff there. A solid rating for a match. I almost said mating. Anyway, moving on to a 44. That's pretty good as well, considering who's involved. We had Primetime Jack Pride defeating Bowden Snoop in 12:04 by pinfall with a Pride Fall. And yeah, Primetime Jack Pride and Bowden Snoop have pretty good chemistry. And it lifted the match. That's it's very decent. We've got a 41 in-ring there from Jack Pride as well. Which seems like a decent amount above. He was usually getting like a 38 or a 36. So he's pushed up a little bit. That's actually decent. I need him to start getting better, especially in the ring. We then go to a 68 rated angle from Davis Wayne Newton. As you can see, our boy, the GOAT, clearly enjoying having the freedom to go off script as he usually does. You know, he is that premier talker, wrestler, and yeah, he's in the main event, triple threat for the world title. We get a 68 rated main event here, so it's not our best ever rating, but to be expected, I guess, kind of. But we do have Davis Wayne Newton defeating James Diaz and Americana Jr. in 1944 when Davis Wayne Newton pinned James Diaz with a fisherman suplex. And we have Davis Wayne Newton winning the CWC World title for the second time, I think. I think he was... Actually, has he won it? I think he did. He was champion, I think. Anyway, he got a 77 in-ring performance here. Smashing both Americana and James Diaz. Just needed some color commentary, and the match would have been a little bit better. Because I think our negatives is just, yeah, poor color commentary, low heat on the storyline, low morale there, poor gimmick for Diaz. Let me change Diaz's gimmick. He's also inexperienced, which is annoying, but yeah, anyway, really good. And then we finish the show off with a 56 rated angle for Americana Jr. Basically just saying his goodbyes to the fans. And of course, he's saying that he wouldn't have been able to do it. You know, he wouldn't be able to go to a massive, or a big company, worldwide company essentially, without the help of CWC and the Coalition, of course. Alright, so we end the show. We get a 65 overall rating there. So if we can pull off these types of shows, once we get to about 50, in the high 50s, like 56, 55 popularity in Ontario, we should be fine getting up to medium size. You know, easier said than done, but yeah, there we go. Anyway, we're going to go Stan Manor, Rock and Ryan Turner, and then we'll also go with maybe Zippy. I think Zippy had morale issues as well. I might be wrong, but I think he did. Anyway, there we go. That was a really good show. Really good episode all round as well. I just want to check the size here. And then we'll take a look at the world title prestige as well. Curious to see if it actually went up a little bit more. Wait, what? Oh, wow. No way. I don't believe that. Americana has signed with ACPW on an exclusive written. He turned down TCW. I mean, he got an extra, what, $2,000 there? That is crazy. That is actually crazy. That's insane. Anyway, we got another 5,000 viewers onto the TV show, or onto the event that we're running, essentially. 66,500. Very nice. And of course, all that means is more money. More money, more broadcast revenue. Almost $6,000 just for that one show. And we got nearly $22,000 in ticket sales. Things are going really well. We're getting pretty close to that second stage of small size that I was talking about. Because we also gained another point of popularity. We're up to 43 in Ontario, 20 in Quebec, and 20 in Manitoba as well. That's insane. Maybe we just stick with WrestleWorld. I don't know. I think maybe we just stick with WrestleWorld, to be honest. Because, like, I could go on to this other broadcaster. This one here. But what's the point? We don't essentially need to do it. I don't know. It's a weird one. Because we get the coverage in the US, which is very beneficial in the long run as well, because obviously we can then get a TV deal with an American broadcaster as well. Like, we could essentially go into American options once we have 40 popularity in 10 regions. And that'd be a small pay-per-view provided there as well. Obviously, we need to get to medium size. I don't think any of them are small, from what I can remember. I think they're all medium or above. What is this? Com Planet. I've never seen these guys before. Interesting. It was created as a rival to Rivalry, which is US Pro's broadcaster. Hello? They've got big coverage in every single region. I'm guessing that's the WrestleWorld for large size companies. That seems ridiculous. That's unheard of. I mean, we could go for this one. Actually, I don't think we can. Yeah, we need to be based in the USA. I think they're all pretty big. This one's small, 28 popularity in 3 regions. But obviously, it's more, I guess, pushed towards Mexico, really. We could get on it because we have Puerto Rico, Southwest, Midwest. We only need 28 and 3, so we could essentially get onto that one there, but I don't think so. There's this one as well, 25 pop in 4 regions. Yeah, interesting. Okay, we have this one here, though. My Select USA, which is only 32 popularity in 10 regions. It's small. That's interesting. I'm surprised a lot more. Why aren't any other companies on this network? They could have pay-per-view carriers for their events, but they're all with WrestleWorld. And it's a small pay-per-view carrier as well. That seems really strange. Because, I mean, most of these companies have that popularity. Let me show you real quick. Like New York City, for example. Their size. They easily have that popularity. Hold on. Actually, maybe they don't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're actually very close. They only need Puerto Rico up 3 points and they can get a pay-per-view deal. So that's interesting. What about some of the other ones? What about not Mid-Atlantic, QAW? Okay, so they're only at 24 in Puerto Rico and 28 in New England. They're up to 3.6 million though. QAW could be the next big thing, really. How much money did New York have? They got 3.6 as well. Oh, man. Even Mid-Atlantic's doing really well. Nearly got $1 million in their bank. IPW got 1.8 million. I mean, GSW, medium size, over 1 million in the bank. Pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. What about CZCW? So they were on the brink. They were on the brink of going out of business. And now they've got nearly just under 3 million. Dude, that was like 4 or 5 months ago. They had negative cash. And they've come back. Because I was looking at their shows, I think, in between episodes. I know this is kind of off topic and we should probably end the episode, but I just want to show you guys. Like, there was a time back in the day, I think it was around here somewhere, because they stopped running shows. Because like they were running in these little attendance buildings, and they weren't getting much money. But then they actually started going to the actual big venues. They had 30,000 attendance. That seems insane. What the hell? What's their popularity? 69, I guess. Are they Southwest or are they Northwest? Hold on, let me go back and I need to check this out for a second. What am I doing? Show history. Yeah, so Southwest. Okay, they're all Southwest. Interesting. So that's 72 pop gets you about 30,000 attendance. That seems ridiculous, but there we go. So that's kind of what we're up against in the rest of the world. I must say the wrestling industry itself is very good. Very, very good. Places are definitely thriving, especially in America, it seems. They're doing really, really well over there. As far as Black Maple, they're kind of making money at the moment, but they're not really doing anything in terms of... I mean, they're still insignificant. They haven't really pushed up. They're 3 points away. But I assume they're kind of struggling to get up to that level. Where is the other company? It was... are they here or are they out of business? Yeah, I can't find them. I can't see them here. Oh no, it's here. This one, UCW. So they're in $45,000 of debt. Up to 12 popularity, so they're probably going to go out of business. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. We might steal Topher Smith back. I mean, Topher was a decent wrestler for us, and I know a lot of you guys were actually fans of his back when we had him originally with our sort of first roster. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Pretty much rambled on for the last 10 minutes. Make sure you give a like to the video, smash a like down there, and of course, subscribe to the channel as well, guys. Really does mean a lot seeing all you guys, you know, it's essentially, a subscription is you signing up to see the content in the future, and that means a lot to me. That's the way that I see it. And if you turn the bell notifications on, the cherry on the top, and like I said, I do appreciate it. Apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy, and goodbye.